This is a video review for the Swat-556 in Call of Duty Black Ops 2. The Swat-556 is the third assault rifle unlocked. It's available at level 10. It's a low recoil burst fire weapon, but when you use the select fire attachment, it'll go on to full auto. In my opinion, select fire on this weapon is one of the more powerful attachments, but we'll go more in depth to that later.
Got a kill!
For now, we're going to focus on the gun itself and the attachments leading up to select fire. The SWAT fires a 3-round burst at 937 RPM. The clip size is at 30 rounds, which in turn gives you 10 bursts per clip. The recoil on this gun is very low. Because it's a 3-round burst weapon, between each burst there's a short delay, which allows you to recenter your gun.
Securing Charlie.
This weapon outputs 40 damage in close and medium range combat. However, this damage drops down to 33 in long range combat. This will result in a 1-burst kill in close and medium range combat. However, this will only drop down to a 2-burst kill in long range combat. You can only rely on these 1 and 2 burst kills if you're accurate. If you miss any of your bullets, this will result in 2 or more bursts. However, it's easy to rely on this 1 or 2 burst kill because of the SWAT's high rate of fire. The SWAT fires at 937 rounds per minute in 1 burst. The reloads with the SWAT are nothing to be excited about. With rounds still in the magazine, it reloads in about 2 seconds, but with your magazine completely emptied, it reloads in around 3 seconds. With this gun, fast mags are not a necessity. The penetration power with the Swat-556 is medium to high. It mimics the power of the LMGs, but not quite at their point. The first attachment you unlock for the Swat-556 is the reflex sight. This attachment is unlocked at level 2, and it replaces the irons with a reflex sight. This attachment is not necessary, since you can see the irons right here. They are very clean, and there's a forefront sight that allows you to pinpoint your targets with supreme accuracy. The second attachment option, unlocked at level 3, is Quick Draw. This attachment is also not very necessary, since you should never be using the SWAT in close quarters, because it is a burst fire weapon. Fast Mags is unlocked at level 4. This attachment isn't necessary either, but useful nevertheless. The reloads are already nice and quick with the SWAT, and if you can learn how to reload cancel, they are even better. Unlocked at level 5. On paper, the ACOG scope sounds like an incredible attachment. Since you're using a burst fire weapon with a high center speed, you believe the ACOG scope with its optimal zoom would help. However, we are playing Call of Duty, and this game is primarily made out of close quarters engagements, so the ACOG scope is a nuisance more than a help. Do not use this attachment. Unlocked at level 6 is a more useful attachment. The foregrip is useful because it lowers your recoil. However, on burst fire, this attachment is almost unnoticeable. However, when paired with select fire, this attachment is a great help.
Friendly counter UAV.
Unlocked at level 7 is a very useful attachment for any assault rifle. The adjustable stock allows you to move quicker while ADS'd. At the time when you unlock this attachment, it is incredibly useful and should be in all your loadouts. However, in the more future of your attachments, this attachment will go unnoticed to you. As for any gun, the target finder, unlocked at level 8, is incredible. Said to be overpowered, this attachment will allow you to see any of your enemies if they're in your line of sight and not using cold-blooded. This attachment also gives you tunnel vision, so use with caution, but this attachment is incredibly useful nevertheless.
Good job, get ready for the next round.
Unlocked at level 9 is a useful attachment. The laser sight reduces your hipfire spread. However, you're using a burst fire weapon, so immediately you should just discard this attachment. The EO Tech sight, unlocked at level 11, is one of the worst attachments available. It simply gives you tunnel vision and a little bit more zoom. That's right about it. It's bulky and gross. Use the iron sights. At level 12, you unlock the suppressor. With burst fire, you should never even think about using this attachment, since it lowers your powerful 1 burst kill and makes it a 2 burst kill at range. Another more useful attachment is FMJ. Since your penetration power is so high already, you may as well just make it higher. This attachment is great. A fantastic option is the hybrid optic. This gives you a close quarters and a long range optic in one attachment. If you have an open slot, I suggest this. Unlocked at level 15 is extended clip. This raises your clip size to 39. This gives you only 3 more bursts, so it's not incredibly necessary. At level 16, unlocks the grenade launcher. This attachment is alright, but if it didn't take 2 grenades to kill everyone, and if Flak Jacket wasn't as popular, it would be better. The last attachment is the MMS sight, or the millimeter scanner. This attachment is unlocked at level 17 and is very useful since you can see enemies who are standing still through walls. If you haven't noticed already, I left one attachment out, and that's Select Fire. It's unlocked at level 10 and in my opinion is the best attachment. The Select Fire paired with the suppressor and the foregrip is a deadly combination. It's what I've been using this entire round, and it's amazing. Once you unlock it, I highly suggest using it. You'll be able to go on some extreme tears with it. The reason I love this attachment is because of how incredibly versatile it is. You can use it in close quarters with its Select Fire fully auto option. However, you can also use it in long range with its burst fire option. I highly suggest using this attachment. In conclusion, I believe the Swat-556 with Select Fire is one of the best guns in the game. If you can run with burst fire for long enough to unlock Select Fire, you will love this gun. Thanks for watching.